Are you hungry?
Give me something good.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of Görgött. Today we're making a beef tartare on a kind of a Hasselback potato. I don't know if you know Hasselback potato, but it's a potato that you cut really finely, and then you normally do it in the oven, but we're going to fry it and then finish it in the oven. And I hope, you can have a look at it here. This is what the end result looks like. So let's get that going. Before we have a look at what we need, as always, please support the channel by clicking the subscribe button and checking the bell icons to get notifications. But now let's have a look. The beautiful piece of rib-eye. I prefer rib-eye when you make tartare to like a fillet because it has a bit of the fat. It has more of a taste, I think. We have the potato. We have some chervil. That's just for decoration. And then we have our mushrooms, our enoki mushrooms. They've been pickled. And we have our Chervil mayonnaise. Let's first have a look at how we did the enoki mushrooms. Here we have everything we need for our pickling of the enoki mushrooms. I'm using, I think in English it's called vinegar essence. It only means that it's a bit stronger than table vinegar. So I need to dilute this. If you use table vinegar, you don't need to dilute it. So for this pickling, it's like a standard pickling recipe. I use to volume 1 part of the vinegar essence, 3 parts water, and 2 parts sugar. So if you have normal table vinegar, it's 1 part sugar, 2 parts vinegar. So that's the easy calculation. This recipe, it's 1, 2, 3. 1 part vinegar essence, 2 parts sugar, 3 part water. But yeah, if it's normal, it's 1 part sugar, 2 parts vinegar. And all we need to do with this is just dilute it. Dissolve the sugar. Will take a minute or two. Oh, now you can see it's nicely dissolved. Give it a taste. Perfect. Now, obviously, this is a sweet pickling juice. If you want to make a normal pickling that's not sweet, just leave the sugar out. You can add a bit of salt if you want. Now, for this enoki, I just want the tips. So I'll cut off like this, and we put them straight in. The rest I will chop up and use for a stir fry or something. So don't throw them away. The rest is good. We're just not using it. And that's basically it for the enoki pickling. Now, ideally, leave them to stand about 24 hours. So that's why what you're seeing now actually happened yesterday. But now back to today. And now all that's left to do is to pour them out. So I'll do that off camera. And then, I'll do that while you have a look at how we did the Chervil mayonnaise. So I'm using the Thermomix for this herb oil or Chervil oil. And it's just good it can heat and mix at the same time. If you don't have one of those, you can do it in a normal mixer. Just heat up your oil before to around 60 degrees. That's what we'll do here with the Thermomix now. That's starting. Once it hits 60 degrees, we'll put in the herbs and we'll mix it for about a couple of minutes. We're up to 60. I will just break these in half. And then blitz it for a couple of minutes. Just get it off. And here I prepared, there's 2 bowls, one with ice cold water and a bowl that we will pour this into. Let that drip through now. You don't want to press it through, but you can just shake it a bit like this. And the 2 bowls is just to cool it down. And there we have it. Pure chervil. I will just let this cool down. everything we need for our Chervil mayonnaise. The oil we just made has been cooled down. An egg yolk, some vinegar, some mustard, some salt, and potentially some extra neutral oil. We can start with a bit of vinegar in here and a bit of mustard. About a teaspoon. And now we've mixed this first, and then we'll start adding the oil. Now we can start with the oil. As always, slowly at the beginning. Yeah, I think the consistency is quite good. We don't need the extra oil. Just make sure that it tastes well. So let's give this a try. Has enough vinegar, has enough mustard, it just needs salt. So let's go with about 2 good pinches to start with and mix this in. Give that a try. Perfect. So that's our Chervil mayonnaise. So you see how we do it. I've poured off the pickling liquid for our enoki mushrooms. These we just need to pick so that we can use them for decoration. But let's get going with the potatoes and the beef, and we'll start with the rib-eye. Now the thing with the rib-eye, I hope you can see it, it's that kind of line there that looks a bit translucent. That's not so nice when you make tartare. So we'll just pull this piece off. And you see it here as well, there's a little line. And we'll cut that line away. And it's not that it's not edible, it's just a bit tough. There we have that side clean. Clean off the silver skin as well. And if you follow the channel a bit, you know that I really love tartare in different shapes and sizes. And I always prefer to cut the meat myself. That's a nice clean piece. And here you see, that's what we want to get away. Normally you can go in with your hand. That's pretty much what we need to clean. And now we just need to cut it up. And here, you know, whatever works for you. I would tend to just kind of slice it up first. Like this. And then get cutting. And you can see it's a lot more marbling, a lot more fat in this cut. And that really makes a difference, I think, from like when you make a tartare out of the fillet. The fillet is nice as well, but this has more texture, more taste. So I will finish this up, and then we'll have a look at how we do the potatoes. Before we get to the potatoes, I just wanted to show you how I'm going to spice up the tartare. So it's all been cut. I'm going to add a little bit of grape seed oil. Some white pepper. And a bit of salt. And then we'll just mix this properly. Take a taster. Perfect. So we'll leave it like that now, and we'll get on with the potatoes. Baked potato. I'll try to get it flat first. So we're looking to get to kind of a cube format. That's good. Now we'll split it in half. And now for each half, you have to be a bit careful. We're going to make like 2 millimeters, and we're going to cut down, but not all the way down. You want to leave a millimeter or so that the potato still sticks together. So do that on your potatoes, and then we continue with the cooking of the potatoes. So we have 3 beautiful pieces, and you see they're kind of falling apart, but they should stay together nicely for the frying and for the oven. So we'll move over to the stove, get them fried, and while you do that, put your oven at 220 degrees, preheat it, because after we've fried them, they're going to go into the oven. So we have some hot oil with a bit of butter in it, and we're putting in our potatoes. And we want a nice golden color like this. And on every side. And once you have color on all sides, put it on an oven tray. And now this goes into the oven for about 15 minutes. Our potatoes are done. Now we'll shake our mayo a bit. What this layer looks like doesn't really matter, because the meat goes on top of that. A little bit more, like so. And this is the point. I've never been someone who uses tweezers in the kitchen, but this is the point where I could consider using them, because this is, with my fingers and my shaking hands, this is hard work. So we just put some of our pickled mushrooms on top. Something like that. And then our chervil. That likes to stick to my fingers. Like so. And last but not least, some dots on top. And there's our tartar. Let's dig in. This is very nice. In my mind, you know, when we mixed the tartar, we added a bit of salt. That's fine. Just don't over salt that. I'd rather salt the mayo a bit more powerful, so that you can still have the nice kind of taste of the meat, that doesn't get overpowered. This is wonderful. You get a bit of nice sourness coming through from the pickled mushrooms, the freshness of the herb mayonnaise, of the chervil. You know how you often get bread with your tartare? You don't need bread when you have potatoes. That's the beauty of this dish. Perfect starter, looks very nice, and tastes really good. And you can mix and match the mayonnaise. You know, you can make black garlic mayonnaise, you can make a spicy mayonnaise, whatever you feel like, and it will change the dish. It will still be nice, it will just be a different dish. So go creative. Now, if you stuck with me this long, as always, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Hit it. Except for that, that was pretty much it for this time. I hope you enjoyed it. But before you go, please support the channel, click the subscribe, and check the bell icon. Take care. Bye-bye.